Good evening, everyone. The Red Bank Planning Board will come to order this 13th day of May. The time is 7:03 p.m. Adequate notice this meeting has been posted to Borough Hall, filed with the Borough Clerk, and mailed to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times. And can we have a roll call, please?
Shauna Ebanks,
Here.
Christina Bonatakis,
Here.
Dan Mancuso,
Here.
Luis Demento, absent. Barbara Boas, Megan Massey, absent. Wilson Beebe, absent. Itzel Hernandez, Frederick Stone,
Here.
Brian Parnigan.
Here.
That's all.
We have the minutes of the regular meeting, April 8th, 2026. Does anyone have any additions, comments, or concerns regarding the minutes? Okay. Anyone like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Do a roll call.
Shauna Ebanks,
Yes.
Christina Bonatakis,
Yes.
Dan Mancuso.
Yes.
Barbara Boas.
Yes.
Itzel Hernandez, abstain. Frederick Stone. Oh, that's abstain. And Brian Parnigan, abstain.
We have one resolution, which is 187 Riverside Avenue, Block 4.01, Lot 1-3. This is the Galleria property down by the river. It's not? Oh, no, it's not. It's Rollo. Jesus. So does anyone have any questions or comments regarding that resolution?
Chairman, I have one comment. I wasn't there at the meeting. I did review the minutes. The only thing that I wanted to say is regarding the sign. I know there was some conversation around the sign,
The one on the building?
the one that is integrated with the Welcome to Red Bank. I don't think we should have a business incorporated with a Welcome to Red Bank sign. I think that should stand alone as its own.
Don't most of
sign.
them have a business on them that sponsor them?
Do they?
Like the one across, the one, Local Smoke has one. I think the Bagel Place has one.
I guess it was the way it was rendered in the images. It just was like a very flashy Rolos underneath Welcome to Red Bank. And
I know that the requirement and the applicant agreed to is that they're gonna go to the Visual Arts Committee to work on the sign. So I think
Okay.
there was some concerns with the sign also.
so there's some
with
more
the board.
debate that's going
Yes.
to take place. Okay.
So in the future, Brian, don't miss a meeting. And come and you could have taken care of all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
And-
thank you.
and-
I did want to just say.
by the
that
way,
'cause,
Mr.
yeah.
Chairman, you're absolutely correct. We are going to meet with the borough representatives and get their input and their blessing before we do anything. Okay, so you can rest assured of that. Mark, I just want to mention the engineer called me today and he said he has no problem with the resolution going forward, but he already revised his plans and he was hoping that he wanted to make sure that the plans matched up with the resolution. So we may have to come back if there's any minor hitch with the resolution. I don't think there will be, but
Yeah, I mean, if there's, so the dates, so the plans are revised post the hearing?
correct.
Oh, well, that, you just give it to you don't need to come back for that. You just, they've been revised. You just give them to the board engineer and he accepts them as revised plans.
Okay, I mean, that's normally what we would do. He was just a little bit concerned. He wanted everything to be perfect. And I said, just, I'll mention it this evening.
No, I appreciate that.
Okay.
No, so the resolution actually says in it, as all my resolutions do, that if you have to revise the plans, you revise the plans, submit to the board engineer, as long as it's consistent with the resolution, you're fine.
Okay.
So
And
you don't need to come back for that.
all right, thank you. And that's what I told him
Yeah.
too. He's just, he had never been before this board before, so,
That's all good.
okay, thank you very much.
That being said, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution on 187 Riverside Avenue. If anyone-
Second.
Second, thank you, Shauna. Roll call on that, please.
Shauna Ebanks,
Yes.
Christina Bonatakis,
Yes.
Dan Mancuso,
Yes.
and Barbara Boas.
Yes.
And now for the fun, 26 James Parker Boulevard, Block 75, Lot 12401. We're going to make a parking lot.
We're going to finish a parking lot.
Okay.
And before we start, let me just mark in the exhibits that I have. Exhibit A1, and make sure I have all the dates right, because the dates these are older plans.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so the site plan is dated November 7th, 2023. That'll be Exhibit A1. Exhibit A2 is a survey, which is dated August 15th, 2025. Exhibit A3 is a stormwater management report, which was dated August 7th, 2023, last revised December 19th, 2024. Exhibit A4 is the subsurface soil investigation and foundation recommendation report, and that is dated, that's recent, March 2026. Those are the only pre-exhibits that I have. I then have the T&M letter is going to be Exhibit B1, and the shade tree memo is going to be Exhibit B2.
So Lexington, there is revision on A1 of 7/30/2020.
Okay.
So that would be the plan set date November 7, 2020. November 7, 2023 is the date, revised through 7/31/25.
25?
Yes.
Okay, I missed that somehow, and I apologize, Dave.
Does
Thanks.
that cover all 194 pages I'm looking at here for a parking lot?
Yeah.
Somebody getting paid by the page here?
Well, good evening, Mr. Chairman, and members of the board.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Nice to be here with you. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. I mean, I know you need to hear all the important issues and have your deliberation, but as I described earlier on this informal conversation, we're filling the hole in the donut essentially this evening. You know, the parking lot pre-exists. The only part of the property as a whole that is not parking lot or building essentially is the area that is now dirt. And that is because that was a single family home that burned to the ground. And our client, Mr. Cardozo, purchased that property. And by purchasing the property, he can almost meet the exact number of spaces that he needs for that building. I think he's I believe 3 or 4 spaces short. And other than that, we have one other variance, and that's it. So we're almost variance free, number one. Number two, we will be substantially improving the appearance of the area. There's going to be landscaping all along James Parker Boulevard at such a height that it's going to prevent the headlights that are for people that are parking from interfering with people that are either walking, you know, pedestrians or anything else, so that we will have that aspect of things covered. We are going to be restriping the spaces, and overall, we think it's going to be a great improvement. We have with us this evening David Kramer. He is he's the borough engineer in Shrewsbury as well as their zoning officer, and he has appeared before boards all over, but he's had that experience for a number of years. He's been before this board before.
So, Mr. McKenna, if I can make a recommendation, going off what I think the chairman was hinting at, let's not make a mountain out of a molehill. This is a parking lot to fill in the parking lot. So let's try to keep it basic. And obviously, if the board has concerns or questions, they're free to ask it, but I don't think we need to overdo this one.
I totally, that was probably almost my entire speech.
Yeah.
But yeah, and now it is, yeah. But I'd like to just introduce Mr. Kramer and perhaps maybe open it up to the board in case anybody has any questions, or if you would like to hear just a very brief summary from Mr. Kramer. I'm sure we could do that also.
Well, let me swear him in. Sir, do
Okay.
you agree? I'm sorry. Do you swear and affirm that any testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And just state your name for the record.
David Cranmer, Cranmer, 119 Avenue of the Commons, Shrewsbury, New Jersey.
And you are a licensed engineer in the state of New Jersey, and your license is in good standing, correct?
I am a licensed engineer as well as a licensed planner, and both licenses are in good standing.
Thank you. That's all we need. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Mr. Kramer, unlike Shrewsbury, we're gonna rock this out quickly. So.
Not sure if I'm offended by that or not. Do my best
My
to speak.
original hometown takes forever to do everything. And I asked a previous borough or planning board attorney, Marty Barger, years ago, I'm like, why does Shrewsbury take so long on everything? He said, well, we want to make sure we get it right.
That's right.
I'm like, okay, that's a bullshit answer, but
We've done our best to improve that over the past 20 years.
that's
since
good.
I've
I'm
been-
glad. It was probably
Yes,
20
yeah.
years ago that I asked him that question. So this is a parking lot surrounded by a parking lot, so make it quick.
Yes.
Not that I have anything to do tonight, I don't, but this is pretty simple.
Okay, well, I think I can consolidate this. Mr. McKenna, if you're ready for me to.
I'm ready.
proceed. Good. Good evening, members of the board, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Lexstein. Pleasure to be here in Red Bank. I am here, David Kramer, on behalf of the applicant. So this is, as the chairman suggested, a relatively simplistic application. For the purpose of a crisp record, we're talking about premises known as Block 75, lots 124.01 and Lot 175. The commonly known as the street address of 10 Dr. James Parker for the main medical building, and the former residence was 26 Dr. James Parker Boulevard. So what exists there today is a professional and medical office building that has about 109 parking stalls. The applicants were able to purchase the hole in the donut or the vacant property formerly known as or presently known as 26 Dr. James Parker Boulevard. It's presently vacant. I believe it's been vacant since the time of the fire that destroyed the dwelling that existed there. The intent of the application is quite simply to provide additional parking, which would bring it closer to compliance with the current zoning standards, applying the parking demand in the ordinance for the existing permitted use of the building, which is a professional office and medical office. You would need 135 stalls. With this application, we're able to increase the parking supply from 109 to 128 parking stalls.
128?
128, Mr.
Thank you.
Lexstein. So to the extent that a C variance, a bulk variance is required, the applicant is here to request that this evening. We're bringing an existing non-conforming condition closer to conformance. And in the design of this parking lot, which seems fairly simplistic, we were very cautious and very deliberate in not just putting pavement down, striping it, and calling it a parking lot. We wanted to make it as attractive as possible. So part of our design includes the installation of about 78 shrubs and 15 street trees to provide an aesthetically pleasing environment. My main concern, quite frankly, was to provide a headlight screen for the cars that would be parking there, as well as the existing parking lot. We're providing a headlight screen along Dr. James Parker Boulevard so that it improves the existing condition, cuts down on the glare. In relation to or related to stormwater management, which is certainly a key concern in Red Bank and Shrewsbury and everywhere else. We designed a porous asphalt paving system for this parking lot. The benefit of that is it reduces not only the amount of runoff that would leave the site to the adjacent properties, but it also improves the water quality. So in essence, for a water quality design storm, there will be no runoff. That water would simply go through the asphalt. You probably have porous pavement here in Red Bank and a number of properties. If you don't, the Grove West in Shrewsbury has a porous lot. It's had it for about 20 years and it works very well. So not only will we enhance the water quality from the parking lot, but we're also able to capture some of the runoff from the surrounding parking area, the existing parking area. So we'll provide water quality treatment to a portion of that as well. With respect to the letter generated by the board engineer, I've had an opportunity to review it. There were some very simple requests for modifications, which we have no difficulty with. There was one or two items I wanted to just discuss with the board. And Mr. Lexstein, this is an exact copy of what's on file.
So we don't need to remark it.
So this is sheet 3, which is the site plan. And I'm simply going to point out the area that I'm referring to. So in front of the building at 10 Dr. James Parker Boulevard, there is a parking lot that once, when it was originally constructed, and I was able to verify on using near maps imagery back to at least 2014, that there were 3 barrier-free parallel parking stalls there, which is shown on the original survey that was prepared for the site. So we replicated that in our design. Now, one unique feature about those 3 parking stalls is they weren't accessible at all. When they were constructed, presumably back in the 90s, the regulations are much different. They don't comply with today's standards. As part of our design, we're going to reconstruct not only the parking stalls, but the sidewalk that abuts them, make them barrier-free compliant. One of the suggestions in the engineer's letter was that we convert those to angled stalls. Now, the angled stalls, that's what's there today. They were simply restriped at some point in time, I think about 2021, using the near maps imagery. My concern with that is it decreases the aisle width, or the space that's between or behind the parking stalls. So where the cars have the vehicles traveling the site, they would have a very narrow, only about 18 feet or so width to go behind those parking stalls. So despite the fact that that's what's there today, I would prefer to stick with our original plan. And I understand why the engineer made the comment. I looked at it very closely to see if we could accommodate the angled stalls there. Quite frankly, I think it's a safer approach to leave the 3 barrier-free stalls exactly the way they are.
Dave, what comment is that in the letter? Do you have it in front of
I
you?
can tell you. Give me 1 second, Mr. Langston.
You can call me Mark, please. Mr. Lexstein was my dad.
And by the way, I loved your dad.
I
Your
know.
dad and I have-
You guys had a good back and forth.
We did, and I was fortunate enough to be at his last hearing.
Yes, you were.
at
Yeah.
Shrewsbury, and,
Yep.
certainly an honor. So
3.3.
I was just about to say that, 3.3.
Thank you.
So despite the recommendation, and I understand in most cases that would be a salient recommendation. In this case, I think what we had on the plan is perhaps a better alternative. It keeps as wide of an aisle there as we possibly can. If you look on the survey, the new survey, and Mr. Lexstein, this is already in evidence, but I'll just refer to it.
If you call me Mr. Lexstein again, I'm going to start docking you points.
So I see Mark at the salad place across from you. You can see I don't go there often, but there I'll call you Mark. So referring to the 2025 property survey, you can see the angled parking stalls that are in front of the building. That was simply striped. The owner, maybe the predecessor entitled did it. I'm not a huge fan of it, being perfectly honest. I think it cuts down the aisle a little bit too much. I'd rather have a little bit more space in this 2-way aisle. The nice thing about the 3 barrier-free stalls that are in a parallel configuration, it forces a 1-way circulation pattern. It forces the cars to go out that way. So if the board would rather us put angled stalls here, we can. I'd prefer to stick with what we had on the original plan, and I certainly am willing to listen to your engineer here.
Mark, do you need to swear me in or anything?
Yeah, I'll swear. Do you swear your testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Once a year.
Thanks. Go ahead.
As long as the adjacent sidewalk abutting the building is barrier-free and level with the parking spaces, then I would have no objection to the parallel spaces that they propose.
And that's actually indicated on the plan, and that was the main reason that we had to do that sidewalk, because those stalls today aren't barrier-free at all, but they will be. So the sidewalk would actually be flush, so the stalls would be 5 feet wider than what just simply the asphalt is. In that case, the plan can essentially remain for the most part as is. There were a couple of other comments about street trees and a contribution to the borough's street tree fund or landscaping fund. The applicant has, I discussed it with him, he'd rather just put the trees in, honestly. So he's going to install an additional 14 street trees at the requisite spacing along South Pearl Street and Dr. James Parker Boulevard. There was another question about whether we had enough trees and shrubs or if there would be a design waiver necessary. So I did have an opportunity to analyze that. A design waiver will be necessary, but I'll put this testimony on the record. Right now, the plan in total, which will be consolidated, the applicant is going to file a deed of consolidation upon approval by the board if the board acts favorably. there will be a total of 27,980 square feet of open space that remains on the site. Applying the formula contained in the ordinance of 2 shrubs and 1 tree per every 250 square feet, that would require 224 shrubs and 111 trees. What we're proposing is a total of 78 shrubs, new shrubs as part of this application, and 15 trees. Now, when I look at, is this design waiver warranted? I'm cognizant of the fact that the largest frontage of the property abuts the railroad, the consolidated railroad. The landscaping that we're proposing not only is around just the parking lot that we're going to build, but I'll refer to my landscape plan, which is sheet 6 in the set. And you'll see we've proposed shrubs to serve as a headlight screen along the entire frontage of the parking area on Dr. James Parker Boulevard. We've also proposed plantings on either side of the new parking lot. On the left side, there were juniper plantings, and that's really to help, that's basically a ground cover, like the juniper, the low-level shrubs. There's a little bit of a slope there because when we build a parking lot that's porous asphalt, you want to keep it as level as possible or very close there too, so that the water doesn't rush to one end and it uniformly loads the soils beneath it. So when I leveled that parking lot, it created a bit of a slope on the west side. So the juniper plantings is really just to conceal the slope, so it doesn't look out of place. You won't even honestly know there's a slope there. All of the plantings that we chose, the shrubs, were intended to provide year-round color. Most of them are spring blooms, and then they hold their color all the way through early fall. And they're what we call semi-evergreen plants, so that even in the winter, there'll be some level of screening there, which I felt was important. We're also proposing 1 shade tree in the corner of the parking lot, and Dr. James Parker, which was his alcova. The street trees will work with the shade tree commissioner, the board engineer, professionals, to select whatever species are the most appropriate.
Is there anything in the letter else that you don't agree with? Or you would like?
I just wanted to get that testimony for that design waiver on
No,
the
that's
on the
fine.
record, Mr. Mark.
We're not going to give it to you now. You know?
And there was a question about the sign that was brought up. So the applicant is requesting approval for a freestanding sign at the main site entrance. There's a detail on the drawings. It's essentially a tenant panel to show what tenants are in the building. The coloration would be gray color in keeping with the existing building. And knowing my client, he seems to do everything, a very nice job with everything, and he's very, he wants to make it look right. So
All right, so but you agree with the rest of the letter?
the rest of the letter, I have no difficulty.
All right, so it's really only 3.3 that you had an issue with at the end of the day?
Yes.
Okay. Thank
Yeah, excuse me, I might offer a point. There was some comments about the lighting levels.
I was just thinking about that, Mr. McKenna.
I know you were, that's why I asked the question.
So how we're going to address the lighting comment, there was a comment, and if you are referring to the landscape and lighting plan, sheet 6,
Yep.
you'll see lighting levels that are shown in the main parking area that are like 0.6 in one spot, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, the darkest point. Those are existing light levels. I obtained those myself with an illuminameter, and I stood there on a dark November night to see what the level of the lights were. So that's considering all the lighting that's there. There's one parking lot light that is in the north side of the property. It's very close to the the southeast corner of the adjacent lot. And honestly, it probably has a light spillover onto that lot. I can tell you exactly what lot.
Is that the 30-foot pole you're talking about?
Yes, yes. So that would be lot 121.02. We can very easily relocate that light pole to the island, the landscape island that's adjacent to it. It'll bring that light pole closer to the parking lot, and I'll show you exactly what I mean, referring to the survey, which has been marked into evidence. So this is the light pole position that I'm referring to. It's right behind block 75, lot 121.02. We would simply relocate that into this landscape island to bring the light source a bit closer to the entrance of this. It'll eliminate light spill over here. It'll improve the condition, the one dark spot that we have here, and it'll still provide adequate light to the back of that park.
George, second.
As long as the plans are updated to show that?
Yes.
then- Okay, yeah.
What I got.
That's all he's got.
I think it's all we need.
Anyone from the board have any questions for the applicant or their engineer?
Yeah, just really quick. Thank you for the trees. I agree. I would love to see actual trees there. We appreciate also funding, but the trees would be the best choice. If you could just explain where you expect the placement of those on Dr. James, would it be through the full length east to west? Like I know on the eastern side, there's kind of gravel closest there now. Would it include that portion or would it be the more westerly section?
So it would. So the ordinance is rather specific on the spacing of the street trees. So we would simply apply the ordinance requirements and formulate a plan that would be submitted to your engineer for approval.
So that would be essentially that western and southern perimeter would be where we would expect plantings.
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if there are any other questions, please feel free to ask them. And if not, in the vein of trying to expedite things, I'd be happy to submit.
Anyone else from the board? Anyone from the questions or anyone from the public have any questions or comments? We'll do both now. Come on up, sir.
Sure.
This one issue.
Anything
this-
to do with this application?
With this application.
Please
Okay.
state your name
I know
and
you.
address.
I'm just gonna swear you
Oh,
in. Do you swear your testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And just state your name for the record.
Eric Wokas, Wokas.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkes. Go ahead.
Okay.
How about your address? I'm sorry.
53 Leroy Place, Red Bank.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. No, we were talking about the lighting and there's that design lighting consortium. I didn't quite get all the details, but are you familiar with that? The light pollution and the dark skies initiative on outdoor lighting, using warmer lighting, more controlled lighting of the areas and putting monitoring the lighting as far as metering the lighting, make sure that doesn't fall light. Is that something that's been taken into consideration?
So the owner, and I had this discussion with him yesterday.
Okay,
They've replaced the bulbs with LED bulbs that are controllable.
Okay.
So on the overnight hours, there'll be a security level light. There'll be a dimmer switch installed.
okay, all right, just as long as they understand those issues. Very good, thank you. Well, that's all.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Anyone else from the public have any comments or questions regarding this application? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
Second.
You have another question, comment? You can ask if you want. We'll answer it if we
But
can,
but not right now.
but wait until we're finished. Yeah. Anyone from the board like to make a motion regarding this application? I will move to approve the application as submitted with the changes mentioned in the engineering letter.
Second.
Shauna Ebanks,
Yes.
Christina Bonatakis,
Yes.
Sam Mancuso.
Yes.
Barbara Boas,
Yes.
Itzel Hernandez.
Yes.
Frederick Stone. Brian Parnigan.
Yes. Good seeing you again, Ed.
Okay, thank you very much. Good seeing all of you. And thank you for your kindness and allowing us to give a brief presentation.
Brief is the word. Come on up, you can ask your question.
So I'm just gonna caution that there's nothing we can do about the Rollins application. You know that. It's done, it's decided. And the resolution's been adopted. We won't be changing anything.
It was mentioned earlier, well, I was here last time, I talked to Christina, she said the visual arts, which I did, and they were very enthusiastic. However, they didn't know who passed it, so for that person who, the decision maker or something.
I think Mr. McKenna knows how to get in touch with the Visual
Yeah.
Arts Committee, yeah.
It's usually the applicant that
Yeah, the
reaches
applicant
out.
would.
Yeah, the applicant reaches out to the visual arts committee, and I'm pretty sure Ed will contact them because they need that for the resolution compliance. So they can't get their zoning permit without satisfying all the conditions of the resolution. And that's one of the conditions of the resolution, so they have to contact.
I did,
And Mr. McKenna, by the way, Mr. McKenna said at the beginning of the meeting that he was in the process of doing that.
when I talked to this, they didn't know who to talk to.
Well, they wouldn't be reaching out. Ed will be reaching out. He'll be reaching out to them. Of course.
I'm not kidding.
They don't have a choice. They have to. Yep.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
In favor of adjourning? Aye. Any opposed? Good answer. Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night.